Hey guys, what's going on? It's Presets. So today I'm going to be showing you guys how to optimize your Acer Nitro 5. I've been getting asked this question a lot lately because I have one myself and my performance on mine is really good. Like I play like 0 to 10 ping average and like 240 FPS at all times if I need to. So enough said, I'm going to show you guys how to do that and let's get into the video. Alright, so first off, if you guys want to get more FPS on your Acer Nitro 5, the first step is having another monitor hooked up and making that your main display. When I just used my Acer Nitro 5 screen on the laptop, it always stayed at like 120 FPS, right? But end-game and in-game would be a little bit lower, but once I hooked up a new monitor, my FPS drastically increased. Like, I don't know why, it skyrocketed from there. So if you guys could get yourself another monitor and hook it up, that would do so much. Alright, so really quick, I'm just gonna pull up a picture of my setup right now with the Acer Nitro 5. I have a double monitor setup, like hooked up to this. I have 3 monitors basically in total. I found that when I got all my monitors, my FPS was better. So it's like the more monitors you have, the less like kind of stress it'll put on your main display because it also has so many other things hooked up to it. So it kind of takes off like a load on your PC and it just puts it to different options. So now if you aren't willing to buy anything like an extra stick of RAM, because Acer Nitro 5s have 2 slots of RAM but there's only 1 installed, so if you are willing to spend like 30 bucks on getting another stick of RAM too, that can increase your FPS by I think 40 to 80, which is huge. I remember when I just got it stock, I was running like 90 FPS in Click's box fight. Now I can run up to like 400 and it's insane. Okay, so that's enough of that for right now, but first off we gotta get into optimizing our PCs. What you're going to want to go do is right click on your desktop and click Nvidia control panel. So there's 2 types of PCs or Acer Nitro 5s. There's one with Ryzen and there's one with Nvidia, but for this one we're just going to do Nvidia because I don't have the Ryzen. So just keep that in mind. Alright, so what you're going to want to do is you want to go on the left side of your screen and you're going to see all these little options here. What you're going to want to do is go to manage 3D settings and you're basically just want to copy all my like things here. So image sharpening you want off, scaling disabled, ambient conclusions you want off, anisotropic filtering you want off, FXAA you want off, gamma correction you want on. Gamma correction just makes the game look good, although like all the other stuff is turned off. It gives it a nice color tone, I guess you could say. Anti-analyzing mode you want off. A lot of the times it's just gonna ask you for like the best like GPU kind of deal, but just trust it. For your CUDA, like GPUs, you want all. DSR factors you want off. If you turn off DSR factors, DSR smoothness turns off instantly. Low latency mode doesn't really need it anymore. If you've updated your driver, you should get a plus on boost option in game, which basically makes up for this. So if you have low latency on, you need to turn it off because there's no use for it and it's going to create more input delay than you already have. Maximum frame rate, you do not want that on. MFA you want off. Open GL rendering GPU, you want this just set to your like normal GPU. So I have a GTX 1060 or 1050, sorry. Power management, you want to prefer maximum performance. That's really important, or else it's gonna focus on your battery more, which doesn't really matter because if you don't have your Acer Nitro 5 plugged in at all times, that is literally the worst thing you could possibly do. If you have your Acer Nitro 5 always plugged in, your FPS will never like fully drop down to what it should if you don't. Usually if you don't have it plugged in, it goes down to like 30 to 50 FPS that's steady, so it kind of sucks. What else you want on is text filtering and shader cache. Actually, you know what, here you can go ahead and turn off texture filtering, like the first option for anisotropic sampling. What this is going to do is it's basically just going to like kind of tone down the colors and it's going to make your FPS better for high performance. Next thing you're going to want to do is negative load bias you want on, or allow, I guess I should say. Text filtering quality you want on high performance. There's going to be a few options. It's usually going to be on quality, but make sure it's on high performance because it focuses on your battery life more. Trilinear optimization you want on, thread optimization you want on auto, because that's just gonna like mess with your shit if you don't want it to. Triple buffering you want off, VSync you want off, 100% off, because that's gonna make your FPS and your hertz capped at the exact same amount, and you won't be able to get more than 60 FPS at all times. And virtual reality presynced running frames you want on 1. Okay guys, so once you're done this side of 3D settings, you want to go over to program settings. This is basically just specifically for Fortnite. So if you guys are playing any other game, just let me know in the comment section. I'll do another video for that. But this is for Fortnite specifically. So what you're going to want to do is look through all these games on select program customize, and you should find Fortnite client win64 shipping.exe. So you're going to want to click this, and you guys are just basically want to copy my settings. So for image sharpening, you want off, anisotropic filtering off, FXAA off, gamma correction on, analyzing mode you want off, GPU CUDAs all, low latency mode you want off for sure, just make sure that that's off. Max frame rate, use global settings off, multi-frame sampling AA off, open GL rendering GPU you want just like on like your normal GPU. I just use my 1050. Power management, you want to prefer maximum performance. That's a critical thing that you need to change. Refresh rate, highest available, same thing. Shader cache on. Text filtering off. Negative load bias you want on allow. Quality you want on high performance, same thing. It's probably going to be on like quality, but you do not want that. You want high performance. Next is trilinear optimization. You could turn this on for this. Basically, it just like makes sure that your game kind of stays on top of all like the optimizations that you make. I don't know how to explain it, but just keep that on. And then auto, you want this on auto. Threaded optimizations, triple buffering on off, vertical sync on off, and keep your virtual reality preframes on 1. Okay guys, so this is another big one. So the difference between quality and performance is quality just really makes nice sharp edges, as you can see on this slide, and then performance makes it kind of like darker, non-shaded, I guess you could say, like angles, which is a huge increase in FPS. So what you're going to want to do is, instead of use let 3D settings decide or anything, you're going to want to go to use my preference emphasizing. And instead of it being on balance or on quality, you just want to bring it all the way down to performance, and then yeah, and then make sure to switch it back onto this so that it kind of just balances it out. Alright guys, so this is basically the next step in making your FPS higher, and that is changing your resolution size. Normally your resolution size is going to be native 1920 by 1080, but you don't really want that. What you're going to want to do is, this is my stretch res. This is what you guys are going to want to use. So you guys can use whatever kind of stretch res you want. I'm just going to show you guys how to apply it to your monitor. So first things first, you're going to want to pick out the exact resolution you want, and then you're just going to want to have your refresh rate as like 60 Hz or whatever you're using like currently. I'm just going to keep using 1920 by 1080 now because that's what I'm recording in, but this is what I use, 1642 by 1070. So what you're going to want to do is, whenever you make your resolution, it's going to look a little wonky. So at first it's going to look like black bars on the side, and you guys are going to be really confused. But one thing that you guys are missing is, if you go down to adjust desktop size and position, it's going to ask you to, usually it's on aspect ratio, put it on full screen, and make sure you have both put on display scaling, because that's going to make a huge impact on your FPS. Alright, so now I'm just going to show you guys how to apply your new resolution to your Fortnite game so you get even lower. So what you're going to want to do is look at your keyboard, and at the same time press Windows R. That's going to pull up a run option. And basically what run is it's just like a really quick folder searcher, and it's really useful. So what you're going to search up is % local app data %. I'll put this down in the description so you guys can copy this if you don't already have it, but yeah. Okay, so first things first, you're gonna have a lot of options here. So what you're gonna want to do is go to your Fortnite game. It's gonna be like mid-page. Go to saved. Go to config. Go to Windows client. And then before double clicking on game user settings, make sure that it's highlighted. And then we go to properties and set read only to untick, and then press apply. Okay, and then you can enter it and type in whatever you want. Okay, so basically we're just gonna be copying my game user settings. This doesn't really matter, we're just here for resolution, I guess you could say. Okay, so first thing you guys want to do, it's basically on the top, it says motion blur false and show grass false. It always has to be false on show grass, because if it is true, your FPS is going to go down a lot in creative. A lot of the stuff doesn't really matter, because DLSS is usually just for 3080 series, and you can't really get that on ACER NITRO 5, so it doesn't matter. On the side, scroll down just about halfway, or just over halfway, and you guys are going to see these options right here, and it says resolution size X and resolution size Y. So whatever resolution you guys picked, say like 1777 by 1080, right? You guys are just going to do this exact, like 2 resolutions for this. So this one's going to be 1777, and then this bottom one down here is going to be 1777, and then this bottom one down here is going to be 1777, and then these ones, so the bottom ones underneath the 1777 are going to be 1080, 1080, and then 1080, but I just use 1642 by 1070. Alright guys, so this is another big one. If you guys are still in the game user settings, if you didn't close out of it, I just put my frame rate as 215 because I felt like 200 wasn't as smooth as 240, so I just decided to be in the middle because my monitor could match up to it. Also as well, your resolution quality, you always want this on 82 or 83, nothing higher, nothing lower, because I don't know why. This just 83 is just the perfect. If you go too low, your game starts stuttering. If you go too high, it starts lagging. So 83 is perfect. You want to go File, Save, and then exit out of this, and make sure it's back on read only. Alright guys, so the next thing that we're going to want to make sure of is right click your desktop, go to display settings. It's going to pull up, so I have 3 monitors. Go to click your like main, so say like you guys are going to be on 1, I'm on 2, this is my main. You guys want to go down to advanced display settings and make sure that your desktop resolution is whatever your res is, and it doesn't really matter what your active signal resolution is because that's what the monitor comes in. So say like the top one is 1777 by 1070, and then the bottom one's 1920 by 1080. It won't really matter. It'll be fine. Alright guys, so for the next thing, what you guys want to do is go to your settings. So this one is a huge one. I used to clip with Xbox Game Bar, but I don't really clip anymore. I'm just making this video because I've had a lot of questions about it. But if you guys do still end up clipping, make sure, I'm going to drop a link in the description to show you guys how to clip with GeForce Experience instead of Xbox Game Bar, because Xbox Game Bar gives you a 13 millisecond delay, which is crazy, and you do not want that. So on top, you're just going to make sure that this is checked off. First things first. And then go to captures, turn off record in background while I'm playing, all this stuff. Just make it the lowest it can be even if it's off. And then make sure that game mode is on. Make sure that's on. Alright guys, so that's like enough for the FPS things. I'll show you guys more FPS stuff after, but real quick we're going to get into ping optimizations. I know that you guys are really asking about this too, so let's just hop into this real quick. So first things first, I know you hear it everywhere. Having a wired connection is the biggest thing you guys could do. Wi-Fi, although you can have really good internet, like I know some people with really good Wi-Fi internet, Ethernet is always going to beat it. Doesn't matter what kind you get, just anything above Cat 5e. Just make sure any above Cat 5e. Because Cat 5e is 100 megabyte download, and Cat 7 can go up to I think 300 or 400. So you just want to make sure anything above Cat 5e internet is perfect. Alright guys, so what you guys are going to do first is go to your search bar and search up settings. Once this pulls up, you guys are going to want to go to network and internet. Then you're going to want to go to Ethernet or Wi-Fi, whatever you're connected to, but I'm connected through Ethernet. So what you're going to want to do is go to Ethernet, change adapter options. It should be on the right side. It should pull up, give it a second. There you go, pull it up on my other screen. And then what you guys want to do is go to whatever you guys are connected. I'm connected to BellPod, and then I'll show you guys from here. Okay, so what you guys want to do if you guys are connected to Realtek family controller is you guys just want to copy my exact settings. So once you double click this, go to properties, then go to configure, and then this thing's gonna pull up. So what you guys want to do is just copy everything I have down. So advanced EE, you want this disabled. APR offload, you want this disabled. Auto disable gigabit, you want this disabled. Energy efficient Ethernet, any kind of energy efficient or flow controller like green Ethernet, you want off. So any kind of power saving things, you want off. Internet moderation, you want off. IP4 checksum offload off. Jumbo frame off for IPv4 and IPv6. Number of RF queues. So what we're going to do, since we're on ACER Nitro 5, is turn this down to 1 queue. If you have a really good PC, per se, like anything above like 20 series, you're going to want to put it on 4, but we only have 1. Network address doesn't really matter, it's nothing. NSS offload, you want this off. Power saving mode disabled. Priority and VLAN, you want disabled. Receive buffers, you want this on 512. Our PCs can handle 512, so that's what you guys want it on. Receive side scaling, goddamn I suck. You want this on disabled. Shut down wake on LAN, disable. And then speed and duplex, you want on auto negotiation. But yeah, so I recommend keeping on auto negotiation. Both of these, IPv4 and IPv6, you want off. Transmit buffers, you want on 128. That's all our PC can handle. IPv4 off again. IPv4 6. You know, just all these, both IPv4s, all of them that you see, you want off. The LAN ID doesn't really matter. Just keep it on 0. Wake on magic packet, disable. Wake on magic packet, disable, disable. Not speed down. This is important. So whenever you search up something, it always goes to 10 megabyte first, but you don't want that. You want not speed down. So whatever your internet's at, it's always going to stay like that for whatever situation. And then press OK, close, and then we'll get into the other stuff. Alright guys, so this is mostly for your ping or DNS server. We're going to get into this. So this really depends where you live, but mostly the main one is going to be your nearest server or whatever you live closest to. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on Internet Protocol v4, and then you're going to press Properties. So make sure that's highlighted blue. These things are, so what you're going to want to do is obtain IP address. This obviously is going to be ticked. And then on the bottom side, use the following DNS server addresses, so put that in. Then, this really depends on where you live. So I know some people, this is just like my nearest server. I have my own server. You guys are going to want to do here. So you guys are going to want to do this. 8.8.8.8, and then on your alternate DNS, you want to do 8.8.4.4. This is going to be really helpful. Then put validated upon settings, and then press OK. Alright guys, so next thing is real quick, we're just going to go down to properties again, configure. Then when this thing pulls up, this is really important. Instead of doing all these little things, you guys are going to make sure that your drivers are up to date. So if you guys are using Realtek, make sure that there's an update, because I just had mine this morning and it's really helpful. As well as going to power management, you want all these unticked. Make sure that they are unticked at all times. Alright guys, so that's it for the Ethernet, but now we're going to get onto Wi-Fi. Alright, so I'm not connected to my Wi-Fi, but I do have optimizations for it. So if you guys do want to improve your Wi-Fi connection, follow along. What you guys want to do is right click, go to properties, and then when this page pulls up, you guys are want to untap every single option. This is just like my game booster, but you guys are going to want to untap every single option except IPv4 and then press OK. And then you guys are want to go back onto it, make sure that's still like this. You guys are want to go to your internet protocol and do the same thing, 8.8.8.8 and then 8.8.4.4 in the validated one settings, as well as going to configure, yes, and then make sure that you guys follow along for this one. 5G, so 5G is just 5 GHz band speed. It is really good. You guys are always want to have this on. Wireless mode, 802.11 AC, this is important as well. APR offload, you want this off. I don't know why I have it on. Channel, just auto again. Fat channel, disable. Global BG scaling block, you want on never. GTK rekeying for WoW LAN or whatever, you want this disabled. Power saving mode, you want no. Mix, you just want this on RTS enable. NS offload, you want this on disable. Packet coalescing, you want this on disable again. There's a bunch of new updates, but I'm just like putting this on like whatever I feel is right. Prefer 5 GHz band, you want this on. Roaming aggressiveness, you want this on lowest. It should be on medium, but you want this on lowest. Basically what that means is, say you're connected to your internet already, it'll stop looking for other connections like closest to you, so that's good because it'll stop kind of searching. Sleep on WoW connection, you want this off. Transport booster, you want this on. Transmit power, you want this on highest, so you want it to work as much as it can. UAPSD support, you want this disable. Wake up mesh packet disable and pattern mesh disable, then press OK. Now I'm just going to show like a few other optimizations you guys can do. So this is a really important step in making your PC clean. It's just always deleting stuff that you don't really need. So for example, if you search up Windows R, click that again at the same time, Windows R, and then you pull up temp%, right? What this is going to do is it's going to pull up all these little options here. And these are all things that you don't need in your PC. So what you're going to want to do is scroll all the way up. You guys can trust me on this. Scroll all the way up, delete. So what this is just a bunch of files that you haven't used in a long time, or that just like kind of got ran out of date. So see, there was a lot there. There was 600 options. But yeah, that's a lot. Also, make sure that you guys empty your recycling binks. That's really important because I have a lot in here too that I haven't deleted. Yeah, so make sure I just delete like 600 items. But make sure you guys are on top of your disk space and stuff like that, because that can make your PC run faster. Alright guys, so another big one is, this one is a huge one for a lot of laptop players, especially on the ACER Nitro 5. All you guys are want to do is go to type to search, and you guys are going to search up power plan. So what this is going to do is going to pull up the edit power plan option. You're going to click on this. It should take a second. And then what this is like an option for how much your battery does, and you want this on never if it's always plugged in. So every single option on never, and then go to change advanced power settings and put on high performance active, and then turn hard drive 15. That doesn't really matter, but you guys do want to go to your PCI Express, link state, and make sure that both these are off. Make sure that they are both off. So that's it for your battery. Now you guys, this is like another big step. If you guys just search up performance, it's going to pull up two options, performance monitor and adjust the appearance of performance of Windows. You want to click the second one. And then it's going to pull up this option right here. And it's usually just going to be let Windows choose what's best for you. Turn on adjust for best performance. It's going to uncheck all of these and then press OK. This improves your FPS a ton. If you guys want to get better FPS. So real quick, I'm going to load into a game and I'm going to show you guys what my FPS is on capped. Guys, so as you can see, if I uncap my FPS and just stay still, I can get about 300, and if I look up at the sky, I can get about 300 as well, like 400. But I'm also clipping, so if I turn off my clips, I can get a lot more. But yeah guys, that's about it for this video. If you guys like this and want to see more, make sure to drop a like, comment, you know, just basic stuff. Also, like, I feel a big ping decrease. Like right now I'm on 9 ping, and I live in Canada, so there isn't really any close servers. Alright guys, so if you can notice, I'm staying still right now, and I'm getting about 300, but I'm also clipping stuff, so my FPS goes down about 60 to 50. But if I do uncap it and I'm not recording, I could get about 450, 500 in creative. So that's pretty good, and my ping has decreased quite a bit. So it says that's 20 right now, but it goes down the more you build. Right now I'm at 11, 10, 12. It usually stays around there, but yeah, that's pretty good. But yeah guys, if you guys want to see more videos like this, make sure to drop a like, comment, subscribe, and just let me know what you guys want to see in the future, honestly, because I can really make any optimization videos. But yeah, I had a lot of fun making this. See ya.